Eric Polzin here, covering the 10-24 NBA DFS slate here. If you guys want to, you can follow me at 9to5 Sports on pretty much any platform out there. And I do just want to remind you guys, make sure to take advantage of the links in the description below. If you guys want to become a member at Occupy, the link to that is in the description below. Including that, you guys will see in the timeline below access to the model, ownership tools, Discord chat, and a lot more. So definitely check that out. Also, if you guys enjoy this coverage, just make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. That helps us be able to put out more NBA DFS content for you guys. In this video, we're going to touch on kind of the general things that you need to know for this NBA DFS slate. As the slate changes throughout the day, that'll be updated in the Discord chat. Okay, so make sure to check that out as well. In this video, we're going to touch on the injury news, the over and unders for the games, which games you want to be targeting, which players you want to be targeting right now, and then some ownership as well. So without further ado, let's get into it. So players that are listed out right now, we got Jalen Suggs, Victor Oladipo, Dario Gallinari, TJ Warren, Markelle Fultz, a bunch of those guys. And the one I want to point out is Jalen Suggs and Markelle Fultz. Okay, with those guys out last season, okay, we saw Cole Anthony step into a bigger role. His usage rate was about 27%, which was an increase of about 4.5%. On DraftKings and FanDuel, he saw a bump as well. On FanDuel, it was 5.9 FanDuel points per game. And then for DraftKings, it was about a bump 6.7 DK points per game. So I do think Cole Anthony is going to be kind of a standout play, and we'll see if the data agrees with that as well. And we also have to look at some of the game time decisions here. Okay, nothing big just yet. I'm curious about the Toronto situation. I'll touch on that as well as we go on in this slate. So real quickly, do just want to cover this as well, the game over and unders. Which games do we want to be targeting or not targeting? Okay, typically I don't like to look at this too much. If a player is mispriced, that's what I want to look at the most. I want to find the best value so I can make my best lineup possible or best lineups possible. But it is pretty clear that we do want to be targeting a little bit of the Brooklyn-Memphis game. But I think the Utah Jazz-Houston game is going to be the game I want to target the most because I think that one has the best chance of being a high-scoring game while also not being a blowout. And we'll look at that as well. So Memphis, that should be a close game. And yes, they think the Houston Utah game is going to be close as well. So those are two games in which we should be targeting. All right, now real quickly, just touching on the best values out there across FanDuel and DraftKings as it sits right now. Okay, so yeah, I believe how you say his last name is Aldama. I still haven't looked that up. I apologize, guys. But there is a big price decrease on FanDuel compared to DraftKings, so that's where you'd be playing him. I do think he's kind of priced up to the point on DraftKings where, sure, if you end up on him, like you're fine with it, but at the same time, you're not going crazy with it. You're not going out of your way to play him. Although on FanDuel, that would be a route that you can go. I don't mind Royce O'Neal on FanDuel too much. The minutes have been there. I'm not particularly going out of my way to play him. Same thing with Jabari Smith. Jalen Brunson, I guess you could play. What we are seeing here, I think, is that players are starting to be properly priced. Okay, we're the second week into NBA DFS now. Players are starting to be properly priced, and that's why the value is not as easy as it was at the start of the season just yet. Obviously, this stuff changes as injury news comes out. Just looking at DraftKings right now, I don't see any big price discounts except for Lauri Markkanen, which it's crazy. DraftKings just keeps mispricing him. Okay, so please keep taking advantage of it until he lets you down. It's just a cheap price point for him. Maybe Josh Hart's a little bit better of a play on DraftKings, being $300 cheaper there. I like that. He's a super safe player. And that's really it for kind of the standout value plays to me. Let's look at the highest owned players and we'll do the kind of deep dive here for you. All right, so the highest projected owned players on the slate, Lauri Markkanen, that makes sense. Just been a stud. Okay, game that you want to be targeting. Then you got Kelly Olynyk. Okay, Kelly Olynyk, 2 out of his last 3 games. He's seen a lot of minutes, which thus he's seen a lot of DK points. That makes sense. Jalen Green, I like a lot. Jalen Green's a cheap price point for a guy that's been shooting the ball 20 times per game right now, averaging over 30 DK points per game. I like that. Jalen Brunson, it feels like people are trying to force that in there. I do think Cole Anthony should be chalk. It'll be surprising for him not to be chalk. So I expect that to change as well. Obviously, this is still Monday morning. Okay, we got a lot of time left before lineup lock for this stuff to get adjusted. So let's get into the picks for today. All right, so I'm going to go position by position here real quick. I think that's going to be easier to cover this slate in a timely fashion for you guys. So looking at it, guys, like, sure, could you pay up for Ja Morant? You certainly could. I don't mind the idea of paying up for James Harden. He's kind of the one player that if I'm paying up for someone on the slate, he'd be the player that I want to. We look at all of his games have been really good. 48 DK points in his last game against San Antonio. Okay, kind of a game in which they were ahead. Okay, against Milwaukee, a game that was low scoring, scored 60 DK points. And then in game 1 against Boston, 56 DK points. At 9K, James Harden is simply too cheap to me. Now, the problem with James Harden is I don't think we have to go out of our way to play James Harden. That's the biggest issue I'm finding on this slate. Kind of same thing with Tyrese Halliburton. He is someone that has been a stud thus far this season. At this price point, if he just hits his lowest DK point total this season, we would definitely take that. Okay, I do like him as a play. I do somewhat worry about the matchup with Ben Simmons a little bit. I do expect Simmons to be on him a little bit. That does worry me, okay? Is he someone that can get to 40 DK points? He certainly is, okay? It does feel a little bit more risky than it has thus far this season, although James Harden, Halliburton, if you play those two, I'm fine with it. I'm good with it. Kevin Porter at 7.3 for a guy that's been highly consistent as well is a play that I like, okay? He's been getting a ton of real life points, 18, 18, and 21 thus far. Sure, the 30 DK point night against Memphis was a little bit disappointing, but besides that, 38 and 43. And if we can be locking in a guy that does have that safe floor of around 30 DK points at 7.3, we'll take that. With the upside to go for 40 DK points, we will take that. Okay, and against Milwaukee, he was on his way there. Obviously, the game got out of hand. Didn't really need him that much. Okay, so he's someone I don't mind. Let's look at to why people are liking Jalen Brunson thus far. I think it's because, first game against Memphis, 36 DK points, solid production there. Against Detroit, a game in which ended up being a blowout, 28 minutes, was able to score 31 DK points. I think the shot attempts would have been up, okay, had he played 36 minutes like they were in game one, 18 shot attempts in game one, still 11 shot attempts in game two, averaging 34 DK points. Like, I think the thought process is that right now he's a super safe play, and at that price point, you can certainly get away with it. I don't disagree with that. He's a fine play. But now we're starting to get into the guard plays that I really like. Like, Tyler Hero to me is pretty much a standout play at 6.5. We look at what he's done thus far, guys. 37 DK points, 41 DK points, and 32 DK points. And I want to point out that 32 DK point in his last game was kind of just annoying, honestly. 22 minutes because he got into foul trouble really the whole kind of second half. I think it was the first half or first quarter, he was like at 20 DK points, okay, like on 10 minutes or something like crazy like that. He was well on his way to a great game. So as long as he can stay out of foul trouble in this game as well, he should be able to go off and have a solid game. So he is someone I'm certainly going out of my way to play. Let's just put him in the shooting guard spot, though. The reason I put him into the shooting guard spot is because I really like Cole Anthony. I kind of already mentioned why. With Fultz out still and with Jalen Suggs out, he should be someone that steps into a more safe floor, okay? 32 minutes in game one, 28 minutes in game two, over 30 DK points in each of those games. If we just get that production from him, he should be a great play. But given the fact that he sees a big usage bump with those guys out, about 4.5%, and about 6 DK points and FanDuel points with those two out, he should be a super safe play. Like, I think we are locking in 30 DK points with upside for 45 DK points. He should be a solid play, especially against New York. Not a matchup that I'm particularly worried about. Then lastly, I do just want to point out Jalen Noel, just been very productive thus far this season, and we can see his minutes keep increasing each game. Now, the question I'm asking myself is, did he get more run last game because it was the front end of a back-to-back, and will he settle into more of 18 to 20 minutes in this game? We'll see. And that's a big thing, okay? Like, if he gets a few more minutes in this one like he had, 24 minutes, then he should be able to still be productive. Okay, guys, he's playing, let's just say around 23 minutes and getting over 10 shot attempts. That's pretty crazy, and that's why he's been productive. So at 3.8, he is currently, and I say currently, a value play that I'm looking at. Hopefully we don't have to play him. Hopefully there's better values that open up, but he could be someone that you're playing if we don't get stronger value plays. Okay, so from there, we got two very stellar shooting guard plays. Okay, Desmond Bane, 6.5 is a cheap price point for him. Now, in the last game, obviously it was a blowout. Okay, he only shot the ball 11 times, but he was still able to get to 28 DK points. Okay, if this game stays close, like Vegas is saying, Desmond Bane getting around 35 minutes in this one, shooting the ball a ton, should be a super safe play like he had been thus far this season. And if he starts to finally make some shots while shooting the ball around, let's just say 16 times, he should, one, be a lock for 30 DK points, but he should be able to get to 40 DK points. Like, that is going to be there for him one of these games if those shot attempts continue to be there for him, because he continues to get rebounds, continues to get assists. So I just really don't want to miss out on that big breakout game shooting one. And then Jalen Green to me is just an obvious play. He is someone that I think should be chalky as well. Jalen Green getting over 30 DK or 30 minutes per game right now, averaging 36 DK points per game. He is someone that is also shooting the ball a ton, over 20 attempts or averaging 20 attempts per game. If that continues, which I don't see why it wouldn't continue against Utah, a game that you want to be targeting, he should be a very strong play at 6.3. He is someone I'm certainly going out of my way to play. Should be a safe play and does have upside to go for 40 DK points in this game. And then from there, we got two kind of simple small forward plays to me. Lauri Markkanen, just been a stud, still too cheap on DraftKings. Maybe on FanDuel, you have to think about it a little bit because he's about $1,000 more expensive, but just been a stud. I mean, there's nothing more to it. Kind of been easy to spot that he'd be a strong like asset DFS wise at his price points that he's been at. I hope that continues on this slate, but I'm one of those people that I'm just going to continue to play the players, especially at cheap price points, until they let me down, especially in this smash spot. Like, he should be able to go off and have a strong game. I will say Josh Hart right here I like as well. Josh Hart, been getting a ton of minutes, gets a lot of rebounds, gets a lot of assists. If he can make a few shots, he should easily get to 30 DK points. He is someone you're not too worried about. Should have a safe floor. Not someone that's really going to hurt you, but not someone that's going to really help you as well. Like, I think the 39 DK points will only gain 9 real life points. Well, that's not going to happen too much, but super safe play. And then from there, we do have a decent amount of power forward plays. I don't mind Keldon Johnson at his price point. 6.9, still kind of cheap for a guy that's averaging 39 DK points for a guy that is their best player currently. Like, I don't mind that. That should be a safe play as well. Kelly Olynyk is a play that I should touch on as well. First game didn't play that much. The last 2 games, 35 and 37 minutes. If he's going to continue to get those minutes, then we know he's going to be a great play. Then we know at 5.2, a super safe play as well. Like, 30 DK points should be there for him. So especially in this game where we want to be chasing it, I think Kelly Olynyk makes a lot of sense. Vanderbilt's another play that I don't mind in this game as well. The minutes we want to be more guaranteed. Like, if we knew that he was going to get 25 to 28 minutes, then yes, I would love him as a play at this price point. 4.7 for a guy that's averaging well over a DK point per minute. Like, I would love this play, especially in this game. It's not guaranteed. It's a risky play. It's a GPP play, but it's one in which we wouldn't be shocked to see that flame mark on him. Center-wise, I'm kind of struggling, guys. Like, Vucevic, I'm fine with him as a play at his price point. Once again, a safe play that I don't mind. Claxton has been someone that's been a DK point per minute player. Like, if he's going to be getting 30 minutes, he should be able to smash, especially in this matchup with Memphis. Worry about the price point a little bit with him. Like, I am struggling with the center spot, and that's why I might just play like Kelly Olynyk in the center spot and like shift all these players down. Maybe I just take the risk and go with Vanderbilt in the center spot. Like, that's the struggle that I'm having right now, guys. So I just put Vanderbilt in the center spot for now. Hopefully we can find some better center plays as the day goes on. And then from there, 8.2 left over for that forward spot, or maybe we find a center that we like. Sure, let's go Vooch for now. It should be a safe play, and we'll put Vanderbilt in the forward spot for now. A fine start to the slate. I do just want to call out one last thing as well, guys. The Toronto game is something that we need to watch out for. It does seem like Scotty Barnes is going to sit. That's what head coach Nick Nurse is expecting, okay? I don't think this has been confirmed just yet or whatnot. I'm sure that'll get updated here shortly, okay? We need to watch out for this. If he sits, Pascal Siakam should be a strong play. He is someone last season, saw a 4% increase in usage and averaged around 6.9 DK points and FanDuel points more this season thus far across around 46 minutes. With Scotty Barnes off the court, seen an increase of about 3.3% usage rate and about actually 12 DK points and FanDuel points increase. So we do like that. And then as well, Gary Trent Jr. He is someone that should step into a more prominent role if Scotty Barnes misses some time. Across 46 minutes thus far this season, he's seen an increase in usage of about 9% with Scotty Barnes off the court and about 6 FanDuel points and about 6.8 FanDuel points per game, or per 36, guys. Like, he should be a strong play as well. Like, I don't mind him as a play. Kind of a sneaky play as well, I think. Could be a low-owned 6x, 5x play for you on this slate. All right, but that's all I have for you guys for this NBA DFS video. Once again, guys, if you enjoy this coverage, make sure to like and subscribe. That helps the channel out a lot. If you guys want more access to the NBA DFS coverage, make sure to check out the links in the description below. All right, let's have a good slate and good luck.